Well, there it is. Bad news for us Aussie fans. Jack Doohan has been demoted after months of speculation of Franco Colapinto replacing him in the Alpine seat. Alongside me, as always, Mick. Must be a little bit disappointed. We've lost another Aussie driver on the grid. What do you make of this one?
Well, poor old Jack's not doing so well.
Mate, how long were you rehearsing that
I've
one?
been holding on to that one for ages, bro.
You didn't even tell me at
Ah,
all. That's the first time I've heard it.
the worst kept secret in Formula One. Look, we knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. There was rumors going around he had 5 or 6 races to get it
Yeah,
done, which
for a
kind
long
of
time.
makes sense now when you look at it with Colapinto, which supposedly only has 5 races. So not good for us Aussie fans, but I guess, that's the circus that is Formula One.
Yeah, pretty disappointing. I thought Jack had. Okay, look, it's a biased take. We love our drivers from down under. But I thought there were glimpses of performance there that warranted a longer stay in that seat. Bit of bad luck at times. Yes, I'm sure Jack would be the first to admit that his performances weren't at a level that he was probably happy with. But man, it's 6 races in, it's what's happening to F1? It's super cutthroat. Lawson 2, Jack 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Eh,
mean, pace-wise, for me, Jack wasn't too bad, right? He was sort of relatively close to Pierre. You got to remember Pierre's been in that team and in that car quite a while now. So pace-wise, he probably didn't deserve to get cut. Japan, that probably hurt him the most, I think. And then, and then compounded again in Miami.
Yeah, there were a few DNFs there. There was obviously the first one in Australia in the wet conditions. And then, like you said, followed up with Japan, which was a big one in practice session there. The whole DRS issue. Obviously, the Turn 1 incident last week with Liam Lawson in Miami. Again, that was purely a racing incident. I mean, we see those type of incidents very often. But I agree with you. I think on pace, I'm not talking about results, but on pace, lap times, I thought there was a gradual improvement. There was a few moments where he even outqualified Gasly as well. He had a terrible strategy decision, I think, in Sakir, wasn't it? When they ran him hard on the long
Jeddah.
and the hard.
Jeddah.
Was it Jeddah? Yeah. Look, harsh, but no surprises there. So now the pressure's put on Colapinto. But the weirdest thing is the statement that was made was it's a rotation of Alpine drivers, and there's this talk of it's Colapinto's seat for the next 5 races.
Yeah. According to Briatore, that gives him till like Silverstone, I'm pretty sure. And then they'll reevaluate. In my opinion, he's there for the rest of the year. They just call it a driver rotation. Alpine have basically said, the competition's so close and the improved car performance are the reasons for rotating our driver lineup. Probably looking more towards 2026 because they believe that they've got a decent car, because that car's going to have the Mercedes power unit in the back. They actually believe that they could be up there fighting for a championship. Yeah, there's a lot of things at play, I think. I think there's a little bit of a financial thing there. Apparently Alpine paid €4.5 million to have Colapinto on loan for 5 years from Williams. So you've already paid that money to have that driver there. You're obviously looking to have him in the car, surely. And then, then you've got the Colapinto's money coming in, which is apparently like €20 million a season, provided he drives the car. So he needs to be in the car for them to get that money. But it's like, do they really need the money? Aren't they backed by a consortium of like athletes and actors and all this sort of shit? Like, don't they?
Wasn't it
Surely
just
they don't need the money.
Wasn't it just last week they were saying that Colapinto, his backers, didn't have all the money? So maybe is this why it's just a 5-race stint as far as what they're calling a 5-race rotation? Because perhaps they only have partial funds to get them through to that point,
Yeah.
hoping obviously to bring in more money.
Yeah.
But again, these are all rumors, of course, and we know Formula One's a big business. And then, you've got Flavio Briatore
Mate.
at the reins, and obviously with the resignation of Oliver Oakes, which happened, 24 hours before, or not even 24 hours before the driver announcement.
Yeah, right. So there's reports going, that he wasn't happy with the decision to get Colapinto. There's reports he actually wanted to get the young Paul Aronen instead of Colapinto. I don't know, man. It's just a little bit weird. Like it feels like a bit of a power play from the old Briatore. Because what? He got banned in 2008, was it?
Remember,
Singing with
a
Crash Gate.
lifetime
Lifetime
ban.
ban. Yeah, exactly. Then he gets that overturned in the French court, I think in 2010. Don't see anything. Then all of a sudden he arrives back in the F1 paddock last year, and now all of a sudden he's like taking over the reins. It's like he's kind of like inching his way back onto the pit wall. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. But, again, the financial thing could be a massive factor.
He loves a deal, old Flavio.
I just
What's
don't
not lie
understand.
about that?
I just don't understand, like, if you're going to have, like, a driver shootout, why are you having it in a season, like an actual race season? Like, why don't you put them in this 2023 car in Monza and let them have a shootout over 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, I guess times have changed, right? There's limited time for testing, and these rookies really don't get a lot of seat time anymore. So they're just sort of thrust in. But let's have a little bit of a look back at what Colapinto did in 2024. So he came in to replace Logan Sargent at Monza, and he had nine races to go through, and he was pretty hot when he came in.
Yeah, and then he just crashed after that. So,
So he had a pretty good start to his Formula One career, and he picked up 5 points overall over the 9 races, and he also outperformed Albon in quite a few of those. But yeah, like you said, there were sort of rumblings around the paddock that Red Bull was looking at him and a few others, and then that all sort of died down as we got through the season with the DNF in Brazil, and sort of from that point forward, it was like a 14th place finish at Las Vegas and then 2 DNFs in a row to finish off the season. Although I think Abu Dhabi was more of a failure, mechanical failure, if I can remember rightly. But yeah, things sort of simmered down a little bit, and Alpine had picked him up, like you said, and here he is. So 5 races to prove himself. It's, big pressure now.
yeah, I mean, look, there's no doubt the kid's quick, man. Like, he's fast. We know he's fast. He's proven that in the Williams, apart from bouncing off the walls. Apart from that, he's quick, right? Is he going to be any better than Doohan? I'm not too sure, man. I think it's kind of like a like-for-like replacement, really. I don't think he's going to come in and do what he did in Williams.
Yeah, well, let's see, because if he comes in and the results aren't there, who's next? They throw Paul Aron in?
Yeah, well...
And then if he doesn't perform, give him 5 races, and then I think they've got, Kushmani as the other reserve driver?
I think right now they're playing a very political game and selling it as a driver rotation. But I kind of feel like you're going to see Colapinto in the car until at least the end of the season. And now Briatore's taking the reins. I'd say he's probably going to be there for 2026 as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's been a bit of a revolving door over at Alpine.
What a shit show, man, that place is, bro. Far out. What, 17 bosses since 2020?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I remember Cyril, obviously, in the Renault days, and then from 2021, I think it was there's Laurent Rossi, then went to Otmar. Bruno Famine was interim for a while, then made permanent, and then Oliver Oakes, and here we are.
Well, I mean, you look at the Bruno Famine and Otmar Zafnauer situation. It was kind of like he stuck the knife in the back of Otmar, remember? And how nasty it got there.
Yeah.
And it was like, Otmar came out and said, like, yeah, he screwed me. So there's like a bit of a, I don't know, it's I don't know.
Corporate world.
Yeah, right.
The corporate games.
And Flavio's come in, and he's obviously the big shot caller. Is there a bit of a play there to try and get Oliver out so he can just make all the decisions? I don't think Briatore is going to be like there, like running the day-to-day thing. He'll still need someone to like run the show back at the factory, but I think you're going to see a lot more Briatore as like the front man for that team. He'll be back sitting on the pit wall. Like, it's just what it feels like, man. It's like he's just snaked his way in kind of thing. But like, I mean, I could be wrong. Like, again, we don't know exactly what's going on politically behind the scenes, but from the outside looking in, I'm just like, eh.
Well, it's been a bit of a cluster. I mean, look, we haven't even mentioned the Oscar Piastri saga.
Well, there you go.
A few years back.
They lost Alonso, lost Oscar. Like, it's just, yeah. And apparently they've lost quite a few technical staff to Cadillac. So, you're talking about we believe we've got a shot at winning the 2026, mate.
Big talk.
Mercedes engine ain't going to fix your problems.
Well, the thing is, it'll be interesting to see how Flavio tries to pull the team together because, look, he's going to be old school, right? But times have changed. It's not the 90s anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Early 2000s, things have really moved on. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to create a lot more upheaval there. Look, Netflix rubbing their hands, of course.
That'd be frothing.
I mean, it's almost like they've just written a script and gone, here you go, Flavio, we'll put some in your back pocket, make this happen. Let's make the show a little bit more juicier for next year. Yeah, a lot of just off-track drama, as always. You can't escape it in Formula One.
Well, I guess, it'll just be interesting to see when we get to Silverstone what happens. I guess then we're going to find out if they were really talking about a driver rotation or they were just sugarcoating everything and being very political, which is kind of what we kind of think is going to happen anyway, right? He's going to stay in that car regardless. There's no driver rotation. There never was. It was just they were trying to come up with a way to get Doohan out. A couple of unfortunate incidents and then Miami. Oliver quits, like you said, not even 24 hours. And then all of a sudden...
Does he quit or does he get pushed?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll find out eventually, no doubt.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack leading into the summer break. I think we're going to start to hear a little bit more about this whole situation.
Jack Doohan, where does he go from here? Because the statement that they made on X was obviously, it's PR, of course.
Yeah.
A true professional all the way. Thank you for your hard work and dedication whilst in the car, Jack. He will remain an integral part of our team as reserve driver. Where's his future lying now?
Yeah. Well, even Jack Doohan's statement, basically saying he's still committed to the team. So you would imagine he's going back to a reserve driver role. Surely you got to be looking to get out of there, man.
Jack, just say what you really want to say, mate. Just get it out there, mate.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, obviously you never want to burn bridges, particularly in motorsport. Who knows? Maybe he ends up in WEC for Alpine next year. Maybe doors open. I mean, I did even read a report about Cadillac were possibly interested.
Cadillac's interested in everyone though, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Anything to get an article clicked on, it's all clickbait stuff at the moment. But let's see if anything of substance comes out regarding that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Jack's in Imola, right? Because he's supposedly going to step back into that reserve driver, test driver, simulator role. So it'll be interesting to see if he is in Imola. I don't think we will. I think we'll see Paul Aaron there.
I think from a PR perspective, he'll probably be there.
You reckon?
Just to simmer down the questions, and not make it such a media headache for them.
Well, I'd move them away. I'd keep him away from that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you
let
get him
Briatore answer all the questions.
Well, no doubt he'll answer the questions, but it's just more like the optics, right? If Jack Doohan's there, it's like he can just come out and say, yeah, because he's still part of our team. He's an integral part of our team.
Yeah.
Whereas if he's not there, then all the questions are like, well, where's Jack? Why is he not here? Clearly you don't value him as a driver.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. So I think from an optic point of view, it makes sense. We just don't know. I mean, it's just time will tell. Time will play this one out. But obviously, I'm disappointed for Jack. We made a episode regarding drivers from down under. We really back our guys, Liam Lawson, Piastri and Jack. So yeah, it's a shame to see him demoted, and I hope there's another chance for him sometime soon in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it was just hard to watch, man, because he was just under the pump, mate, from the moment he got that seat. The moment 100%. It was announced, he was under the pump. And it's like watching a tipping building, man. You were just waiting. Right, when's this frigging thing going to fall over? Because it's getting hard to watch now and then.
Well, you made a great point the other day regarding his outbursts on the radio.
Yeah.
During that qualifying session in Miami. And you said that, this is essentially that building falling over. This is the point. Because we've always sort of heard Jack being quite composed and, pretty straight up from that point of view. And that was the first time I've sort of heard him lose it. So clearly the writing was on the wall at that point in time.
They said he was sacked on the spot. He wouldn't have been sacked on the spot. I reckon he actually probably knew even before the race in Miami. He would have known, like Miami weekend, he would have been told. So then you've seen that outburst. So yeah, I don't believe he was sacked on the spot. But yeah, it sucks for the young fella. But like you said, hopefully he sticks around in Formula One, and he definitely deserves to be there. So
yeah, hopefully he gets another shot. Well, good news for the Argentinian fans. You've got your boy in there now. And look, I want him to do well. You know, no hard feelings from our point of view. Like, we want to see the drivers perform and go well. But yeah, big pressure on Colapinto now. We've got at least 5 races during this driver rotation to see what he's made of, and let the circus continue from that point of view, no doubt.
definitely, he'll be right. He'll be right.
She'll be
He's
right.
an Aussie, mate. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Probably enjoyed it a little bit more than Jack did. But we'll be back. We're back to unpack more of it, no doubt. The ongoing saga that I'm sure it will be. Until then, catch you in the next one.
Catch ya.